My real passion is trying to reduce the failure rate of restaurants in this country, and I think a lot of it has to do with that.
Welcome to If Then Thursday. This week is a special week because we have a guest with us, and we're so excited. And not just because Trevor politely stalked this man on LinkedIn to get him here to talk to him.
Yeah.
Like
right?
pizza.
Totally.
It was almost like...
Had nothing to do with pizza.
No.
Right. It was cute but creepy, okay?
That was on the cute side of it, yeah, for sure.
So today with us is Kyle Inserra. Tell us a little bit about your story and how restaurants and real estate, how you married the two.
So I kind of grew up in the restaurant business. My grandfather had like a bar, tavern, kind of after golf, kind of burger place, beer place.
Cool.
I didn't remember too much of that, but I remember kind of being there. My dad worked there. And then when it was, when I was at the age when I could work, a bunch of my buddies started working at this brewery on Long Island. And they started making money. And I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Like, you guys gotta hook me up.
Money is always good.
Money was, yeah,
Show
that
me
was a
the
great
way.
idea. Yeah, I was getting like $8 a week in allowance, so I said this could be better. And they brought me in, and I had an awful job of washing. It was double stacked dishwashers.
What?
And all I washed was 1 liter beer steins. So it was called Glass Boy was the official job, which I'm not sure that would fly these days, but yeah, that was the glass person. But I loved it.
If you're in the restaurant business, then
you need to talk to
Kyle Inserra.
And then, like happens in restaurants so frequently is, oh, you can do this? Maybe you can you do that? So it went from glass boy to bus boy to waiter, kind of, on the slow lunch shifts, to me just stumbling in the kitchen. The chef was like, you're going to cook omelets.
No beer steins were harmed in the making of this portion of Kyle's career.
No. I learned a lot there just by watching. Then I went to college and thought I had to go work on Wall Street, and it was not my passion. I literally went in there one day, and this was after 9/11, and I sat down and I was like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I enrolled in the French Culinary Institute.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. Did that whole chef thing and eventually wound up opening my own place. That failed miserably. And I found my way in the U.S. Virgin Islands, working for like a food and beverage manager. Everybody kind of has to wear multiple hats down there for this private restaurant group. I came home one weekend to do some consulting gig because in the summer up here, obviously it's very active on the east end of Long Island. It's very active where I'm from. And down there, it's dead. So I got a job, met a guy there who said he wanted to open a restaurant with me, and that's how I wound up moving back to New York.
The 10-seat deli.
Yeah, so that's the one. Came back from this beautiful island in the middle of January.
Back to January, New York.
Back to a snowstorm that was like up to the windows of the restaurant. We built it up from 10 seats with $0. Line out the door, best of Westchester, the whole deal. We eventually expanded that to 40 seats, bought out the place next door, opened up across town in Larchmont, and built it up to like a $4 million a year restaurant business from literally nothing.
Applause.
Mazel tov.
We learned everything by doing. I didn't learn anything. We didn't have a business plan. We had no money. We had no cushion in the bank. We had nothing. The invoices started piling up. Vendors stopped showing up. We're like, who's going to pay these bills? We better figure that out. We would get fines because our sales tax was late. And winning fixes everything, so we were busy.
Kyle, what 3 tidbits of advice would you give to a new restaurant owner right now to build their business?
First thing that I would say is really spend the time doing your homework, because people say, I want to open a restaurant, and the barrier to entry is so low. They say, I saw a sign over there, I want to open a restaurant there. And without a lot of information on the market, who their neighbors are, the history of the place, let alone how much it might cost, next thing you know, they're signing a lease, and they're ordering equipment and all this stuff.
Planning and preparation.
Planning and preparation, totally, mainly on your concept. And then once you have your concept figured out, you'll know how much space you'll need, what neighborhood you might want to be in. People tend to have a concept and they try to adapt to a trend. Instead of sticking to, McDonald's never started selling hot dogs.
Second piece of advice.
You have to really audit yourself and figure out what you're going to do in the restaurant and what you can't do, because you get in the door and you're like, okay, I'm going to be the chef and I'm going to own this restaurant. That's like 1/100th of the things that you're going to have to do. Audit who you are, and really, really be hard, because you're going to be there 6 days a week and you're going to be thinking about it on your 7th day. So make sure you're getting into this for passion. If you can stick with your passion, that's great.
What about number 3?
The third one I would say would be to really sit down with your family after you figure this all out. Say, hey, I've got this concept. This is what I'm going to do. I figured out all the moving pieces, but this is the impact it's going to be on you guys. You know, because I think that you need the buy-in from your family. My real passion is trying to reduce the failure rate of restaurants in this country, and I think a lot of it has to do with that. Because once you're burning the candle on the restaurant end and you're owning your business and trying to provide for your family, if you're burning it on the family end, you're screwed.
That's right.
Yeah, and it's not a good place to be. There's that passion piece. You have to balance it with making money.
Yeah.
So, you know, I still have a little piece of a restaurant here in Larchmont. We look at our numbers every week. And, you know, we're feeding not only your family, but if you have a big restaurant, even our little restaurant, we have 5 employees. You know, that's 10 other people if they have spouses. If they have kids, you're talking about 25 to 30 other mouths you have to feed out of this restaurant. There are industry standards for how much you should be making per square foot, and I've done some stuff on figuring out your rent number and how to back into all your other costs to project your top line revenue. They just continually to grind. So we're going to make more money. Instead of saying, you know what, this is February, let me reassess here. I know I'm going to make this if I just stick to the path.
Stay tuned on how we talk about how Kyle got into the real estate business and various aspects and concepts of the business that makes him a true expert.
I'm Trevor.
I'm Linda Ray.
And we are Aurora Consulting. And this guy right here is...
I'm Kyle Inserra, and I'm the restaurant guy.
Who doesn't want to hang out with the restaurant guy?
Get out of my way. I want to hang out with the